I often would think about this when I was first working as a teacher. So I think, to really actually consider what does it mean to be an in tune or attuned teacher. And so actually really thinking about, that you can respond to children appropriately when you know them well and they start to pick up on your cues as well. So I guess, thinking about how you can recognize the difference between cries of tiredness and cries of hunger, or that there is something actually wrong for that child, you can really pay attention in that particular way. Being sensitive to the child at any moment, even when they're not crying, but actually making sure that you are emotionally attuned and ready to be available to that child. And I think that, one thing that I have observed, is that there can be a bit of a more of a superficial intimacy that I, often observe. Um, and typically that happens when centres aren't working with the key teacher relationship. So they're committed to, we need to know all of the children, and of course you need to know all of the children, but you cannot be fully present and available to all of the children in your room simultaneously at the same time. I think that one thing that happens is often that many teachers try and then give out the same amount of attention to, and the same amount of time to children, but then children develop all these individual strategies in order to seek attention. So for some children that may be crying, for some children that can be not sleeping or not eating, engaging in more conflict, or in some cases actually always smiling or always being very compliant. And so actually really paying attention that it's not just the child that maybe is acting out or acting up, but it's also the child that is really struggling to connect and really trying to be compliant as much as possible. So we could have a teacher feeding a child their bottle, but they do it in a mechanical and an insensitive way, looking at and talking to other children. And this may really impact upon that particular teacher's ability to be really attuned and really present while facilitating the special care moment with this child. So, really thinking about, how you can engage in a sensitive manner, taking cues from that child, from that toddler, from that infant, really using that interaction as an opportunity to look and talk, to enjoy that time together, and according to their communication, to the child's communication, all behaviours, these are all types of behaviours that are likely to create these types of secure attachments as well. So it's the quality of the interaction that matters.